Does anxiety rule your life, or has it ruled your life in the past? So I got hit with anxiety 8 years ago, to be precise, when my daughter was born. Now, I'm not saying this was a bad thing. Obviously, my daughter being born was amazing. But how she was brought into the world, she was 3 months premature, and it was a really hard time. Now, this was in 2015, and it's something I'd never felt before. And what happened was, right, my missus got sent to hospital, and we had to get transferred. We were living in Spain at the time, and we had to get transferred to a different hospital, which was like 2 hours away. And the doctor basically said, look, your wife and daughter might not make it. And something happened inside me. I was like, wow. At the time, it was panic. And, you know, for 3 months, she was in an incubator, and it was traveling to and from the hospital. And it was difficult. And it was something I've never had before. I heard about anxiety, but I didn't know what it was. And it was this feeling inside that you had no control of it. And eventually, I ended up turning to alcohol quite a lot, and thinking that was going to help, thinking, oh, if I drink something, it's going to take the pressure off, I'm not going to be anxious anymore. And that right there was the worst thing to do. That made it 10 times worse. Like I say, right, my daughter's 8 now, everything's fine, she's absolutely beautiful, she's hard work, which is, I love it, it's amazing. But, you know, it was figuring that out. I didn't know how I ended up with anxiety at the time. It was just there. It was something that I didn't, like I said, I didn't know what it was. I'd never had this feeling before. It was like this, you can't breathe, and it was just terrible, right? So for years, it came and it went, and because I was living in Spain at the time, my way of socializing was I was just going to bars and I was out with friends, and it was one of them things that I didn't really think about too much. At the time, I don't suppose you do. And I think obviously being a guy, it's not something you talk about. It's not something that, you know, it's one of them things. I don't understand it, but for some reason we just bottle everything in. We don't talk, and not doing that led to frustration and anger, and I couldn't handle any situation at all. It's like I said, I was living in Spain at the time. So when my daughter I think she was about 3, we decided to move to Scotland. It was like, we'll move back to the UK. Obviously, I'm not from Scotland, but my partner is. And we went back to Scotland in a new environment. You know, that's going to help. It's going to help everything. But with doing that came another problem. Like, I completely lost myself. Like I said, I was in Spain. I was out socializing and drinking, and that was how I socialized. I'm not an alcoholic, by the way. I know it might sound like I am or I was. That wasn't the case. It was just that was the only way I knew how to socialize. It was the only way to socialize living in Spain. You know, everything is evolved around bars and things like that. You know, and once I left that world and I left that life, I came to Scotland, didn't really have any friends, didn't go out socializing. That's where the anxiety kicked in more. That's where depression kicked in. And just the confidence that I had while I was socializing, drinking, was gone. It was completely it evaporated. Now, I haven't really spoke about this to many people, actually. This is kind of like the first time I'm opening up about this, because I believe that by talking about what I've been through, hoping that somebody watches this and has been through the same thing or going through the same thing and can relate to it. And I just hope that this can help in any way, shape or form. No, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying this is going to cure your anxiety. I'm saying this could help, and it definitely has helped me. And moving forward, maybe it will help you as well. So so far, if you think this is you, or you can resonate with this at all, just subscribe for me and like this video. So how do you manage the anxiety in day-to-day life? On good days, I never really got hit with it. It wasn't something that was there every single day. But the smallest of things would trigger me. Like someone in a shop. Let's say I was in the supermarket and someone was in there, not someone was in there, but the cashier. You put all your stuff up, they go to talk to you, and anxiety, boom, hits you. I used to pretend I was on my phone, or one time I even pretended I was on a call with somebody. And I wasn't. I was just talking to myself on the phone, and that's really embarrassing, even saying that out loud. But it's just a fact of what the anxiety was doing. No, I didn't want to speak. I couldn't speak to somebody, so I'd be like, yeah, and just look at the cashier, and that's super embarrassing. But listen, I'm going to hold my hands up. That's what happened. And even worse, like having to go up to somebody and speak to them. Now that made me insides feel like they were going to fall out. You know, I mean, like, say, especially having a daughter, right? You need to go, she has dance lessons and things like that, and you've got to go speak to somebody about something. That was a terrible feeling. Something that I tried to avoid. I would try and get my partner to go and speak to them. The biggest one, which again is my fault. This is definitely my fault, is when we was talking about money. You know, you ever talk about money situations, and again, it's my fault because I got myself in a shit ton of debt, never told anybody about it, and that made the anxiety 20 times worse. The day I did speak about it, although shit hit the fan a little bit, it just, it was like a weight lifting off my shoulders. But, basically everything and anything at the time triggered it. It just triggered this horrible feeling inside, this panic and fear. And, if you can relate to what I'm saying, please stick in the comments and let me know. So I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person in the world that's going through this or been through it. I guarantee that isn't the case. I think the biggest step, the first step, is talking about it. I don't mean going, hey, I've got anxiety today. I don't mean that at all. I mean talking about the specific problem that has, triggered the anxiety. So again, if it's like money, it's situations. Sit and say, listen, I'm full of anxiety here. I've got money problems. This is what's happening. We've got this bill or that bill, and talking about that situation eases the anxiety rather than just saying, hey, I've got anxiety today. Look at me, because nobody's going to do that. It's just not the thing, is it? But I must admit, the thing that I've not got anxiety anymore. And the thing that got rid of it was coming online, and at first it was all about online marketing and making money online and all that stuff, right? But I didn't see then, when I first started this, what the bigger picture was, what all this video content and creating videos and going live was actually going to do for the confidence, for the anxiety. It got rid of it completely. No, when I first started online, to be fair, it was taking selfies for like a blog and for Facebook and things like that, right? So just taking a selfie felt so uncomfortable. But eventually, you take a selfie, put it on Facebook, you get a few people laughing at you and your family and whatever, but you get past that, you see past it, and you just eventually, I just take selfies all the time. I even did a photo shoot the other day with my daughter. Like I said to her, look, she's only 8. So look, I need to get some pictures. I said, I put on a different shirt. She took some pictures. Put on a different shirt. Took some more pictures. I wouldn't have ever done that before. And she loved it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite fun. And yeah, so, just taking selfies alone was difficult. So, if you're not even at a stage of doing that, maybe even start by doing that. I used to look online, social media, and see people taking selfies and like, what are they doing that for? Mainly the pouty lips and all that kind of stuff. I don't do that. I'm not pretty enough to do the pouty lips. And then I got into video content. I started creating videos. It was one of these things that I got told that I should be doing. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And I hated it. I hated the way I sounded. I hated the way I looked. I was like a robot. Like, my accent isn't, it's not the Queen's English or the King's English now, I should say. It's a very common accent. It's quite a strong accent. And I just, when I heard myself back, I just didn't like it. So it took a while. My very first video, I'm not posting that. Done another one. I must have recorded about 20 videos and like, I can't post these. They're terrible. Until, I've read a couple of books. The main one was Psycho-Cybernetics. If I can put in the description a link to go somewhere where you can get it, I will do that. I would highly, highly suggest that you read that book or listen to it on Audible. That's what I did. I listened to it on Audible. It's quite a long book. It's 12 hours. So, over time, I've listened to it now about 7 times, to be fair. But that kind of gave me the kick up the arse. I was like, right, come on, let's just do it. Let's, get this mindset right. Let's just post it and see what happens. And guess what? Nothing bad happened. No, the main thing about the book is like breaking habits and doing, getting new habits. And like there's a thing, a part in it talking about if you tie your shoelace, like if you normally put your right shoe on first, put your left shoe on first. If you brush your teeth with your right hand, brush your teeth with your left hand. By doing little things differently, it changes habits. And obviously there's a way more to that, but I'm just saying breaking a habit of thinking that you look or sound funny, that breaking that habit is, the first thing you need to be doing really. Because once you see past that, then you've posted a video and, you're going to move forward. Now, and then on top of that, I started, researching, YouTubing videos like from Bob Proctor, Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins. Now, listen, they're not everyone's cup of tea. If you don't know who they are, check them out, especially Bob Proctor. He's all about the mind, and it's really, really good stuff. And you might, if you watch it, you might think that's a bit of hocus pocus what he's talking about. But really, if you look at the bigger picture, it's about self-talk and how you talk to yourself and how you perceive yourself, as opposed to, telling yourself you can't do something. Start telling yourself you can. A friend of mine years ago, when she was young, she was really good at spelling, like big, long words. As she got older, she started telling herself that she can't spell. Now she can't spell the simplest of words. And that right there just shows you that the more you tell yourself you can't do something, the more you're not going to do it. So, have a read of Psycho-Cybernetics and have a look up Bob Proctor, Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. And like I say, you're not going to agree with everything that they say. I don't agree with everything that they say. But there'll be bits in there that are going to just switch that mindset slightly. If you build your confidence, your anxiety is going to go. Now, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not saying this is going to work for absolutely everybody. I'm just saying this is what's worked for me. I've had anxiety. I've had it and it's gone. And it's gone through doing things like this and like what I've just said. What I would say is, right, what harm can it do? What harm can it do to get yourself out there, create some video content, post it on social media? If it works, happy days, it's a win-win. If it doesn't, at least you give it a try. Well, I'm not going to guarantee, I can't guarantee anything, but what I would say is, I think it will work because it has worked for me and it's worked for a few people now that I've helped along the way on this journey. And, they've gone from shy, introverted people to like people that are doing lives and they're out there and they've got their own groups and making money online as well. And just they're confident as anything. And with the confidence, growing that confidence, the anxiety just lifts. Now, I'm not saying it might not ever come back. I don't know if it is one of them things that does come and go. But the more confident you are, the more you learn to just be yourself and have a positive mindset, the more it's going to stay away. If you need a bit of help with content creation, I've got an episode that I did. Go to that, have a little look at that one. But it's all about content creation. I think that'll really help you to get started. I will say at the beginning of the podcast is stuff about online business and things like that. Just obviously you can ignore them. Just go straight to the content creation one. I'll leave a link there. You can press on that if you want. Obviously come back to this video after. Who knows, right? You could do this and you think, right, Dom, you made a sense here. It's actually working. We could end up working together. We're talking about the same things. We understand the same thing. We could end up you could come on my podcast. We could end up talking about, we could join up. We could team up and help other people with the same thing. My future goal is to have a team of people all working together, not working for me, work together. We've all been through similar things, anxiety, depression, confidence, all this, we've all been through the similar thing. We all know how it feels, but we've all come out the other end. It'd be great to have a team of people that, could run this podcast as well. They could do episodes by themselves. We could do episodes together and just helping as many people as we can, because there's millions of people out there that are suffering in silence in a way. They've never spoke about it. They don't know who to turn to. And you never know, by watching something like this, it could help them. And if you're that person and you believe and you try this out you get out there, start creating the videos, and it works for you, let me know and we can do something together. Feel free, drop a comment, let me know if you want to join, if you want to team up, let's have it, let's do it. The more the merrier, I say. This isn't a one-man band, this isn't just me trying to change the world. I just wanted to help people, and if that's you, if you feel like you want to help people as well, let's do it. Look at the big picture, right? Anxiety doesn't have to rule your life. Take it day by day. This isn't going to be something that I'm going to create a video today and then tomorrow the anxiety is gone. I'm going to create a video today, I'm going to be super confident the next day, I'm going to get out there. And what I would say is this is going to get you there a lot quicker than what it got, how long it took me to get there. I did it the long, hard road. And that's why I'm shouting this now from the rooftops, because it doesn't have to take a long time. And I'm always here to talk. If you want to have a chat, add me on Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description. Purely because I prefer Messenger over there. It's easier to text than, if there's like voice note if you wanted to do that. And I prefer that. So yeah, if you want to have a chat, if you feel like you've done this and you're not really going anywhere, it's not helping yet, feel free to reach out, honestly, and we'll just chat away. So what I would say, right, before I don't want to bore you for too much longer, is by creating video content, right, you're helping yourself, but you're also helping others at the same time. By helping yourself, by talking about how you feel, what you've been through, like I've done in this podcast now, I've been quite open about, my life and how anxiety and all that has messed me up for a long time. By talking about that, someone is going to see it. Because chances are people are looking on YouTube, they're looking on social media to find an answer. They're looking, that's what they're on it for. Do you know what I mean? They haven't got anybody to talk to, or they don't know what to do. So they're looking, and if they find me and they find this and it's helped, that's what it's all about. And you can do the same thing. And by going on this journey, by starting creating the content, by getting the videos out there, recording the videos, growing your confidence, getting that growth mindset, feeling better about yourself, you're in turn going to help other people. I kind of think by not talking about what you've been through, you're doing other people an injustice, because there's someone out there that needs your help. That's my point. All right. So listen, thanks for watching. If you stayed to the end, I really appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe, give it a like. Like I say, drop a comment if you agree with me. If you disagree with me, if you think I don't think this will work, then please comment, let me know. And again, add me on Facebook. We'll have a chat over there if you want to have a talk. I'll see you in the next one.